It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. We're back with an Aldi beer to show you today. I was driving to... Let's show you the beer first. I always start off with these stories these days, and I'm like, get back to the beer. The hop Foundry India Pale Lager, 4% ABV, brewed in partnership with Freedom Brewery. An IPL. So, 440ml can. It was £1.69 in my local Aldi, which for a 4% ABV beer. I've been to bottle shops recently. I've been spending like £7 on a can of beer. So when you're talking £1.69, I know it's not an 8% double IPA. I know it's a 4% India Pale Lager, but I always think price point plays an important part in a beer, a massively important part. £7 worth of ingredients in a can is going to be much more than £1.69 worth of ingredients in a can, isn't it? So let's get the can out into a glass and see what we get. I'll show you the beer and then I'll tell you my little story about how I got hold of this beer. So, beer pouring out. The other thing as well, I didn't want to use my German like lager glasses, my big tanker glasses. The reason why I didn't want to do that was because it's an IPL, it's an India Pale Lager, it's going to be hoppy. And I thought, it's not going to taste, not that it's not going to taste right, but it's not going to feel right in a big German mug. So I put this in a craft beer glass, being India Pale Lager. We got a 2-finger white head, good levels of carbonation rolling up the glass. It's amber in colour, quite clear to look at. Now I'll tell you my story. So I jumped in the car to go to Lidl. I was driving to Lidl and I got to the junction. I was coming down the hill to the junction where I turn left to go to Lidl, which is around the corner, or a 2-mile trip up the road to Aldi. And I remembered as I was driving down the hill, somebody said to me, oh, there's new stuff in Aldi, there's all sorts of different... So I thought, oh, let's go to Aldi. The problem with that is where Lidl gets you is if you download their app, if you hit £250 for the month, which is not difficult to do these days when you're shopping, they'll give you like £10 off your shop or 10% off your shop. So, you're like in two minds, aren't you? You're like, oh, I need to fulfill my weekly thing on the app to get 10% off. And I thought, no, let's go to Aldi. There's some new stuff in there. And of course, somebody said there's a couple of new beers. So we have indeed found a couple of new beers in Aldi. That was the decision of me going to Aldi. So I made that trip up the road. And I was glad I went, to be honest. I quite like Aldi. It's just we haven't got one in our local town. It's in Cardiff, not Barry. Aroma on this India Pale Lager then. Tell you what, smells okay. Little lemony, little limey. A little bit of grapefruit in there. Freedom Brewery, they know how to make lager. Freedom Brewery have been making lagers for God knows how long. I've been drinking Freedom lagers now for a few years. So I'm quite confident in the base lager of this beer. Should we dive in? Cheers, everybody. That's not hops. That is not hops. That's real grapefruit. That is real grapefruit. That is not hops. Absolutely not hops. That is as much as you're going to get from a grapefruit as you're going to get from a grapefruit. Now here's my issue. UK law, if you bought a tin of beans, I don't have a tin of beans out here. It's not like I'd have a tin of beans in a bar to show you. But if I bought any food product, by law, it has to tell you, by law, have I got any crisps? I don't even have any crisps. You have to state the ingredients on the back of the bag. By law. There's nothing on the back of this can. They've described this as crisp lager style. A crisp lager style. So there's your... Now I suppose not even using the word style counts, does it? Crisp lager style flavours. So they have twisted the kind of description of this beer a little bit. Crisp lager style flavours balanced with a distinctive IPA character. So UK law, as of 2023, states that you don't have to put the ingredients on the back of the can. The Germans do it. The Germans do it to great success. The Germans do it to fantastic success because most German breweries have to conform to the Reinheitsgebot, which is the German purity law, where you're only allowed to use water, malt, hops and yeast to be able to call it beer. If it's any more ingredients, any more than those 4 ingredients, you're not allowed to call it beer. And yet in the UK, you know, you can swan around making grapefruit juice lagers, calling them India Pale lagers. It really annoys me. I've had some decent beer from Freedom. I always seem to kind of like, you know, that decision, going back to my decision to go left and go to a Lidl. Part of me now wishes I just went left and went to Lidl. Got my flipping app thing sorted and had another week on 10% off my shop. This is just utter... I don't like to be fleeced. I don't like to have the wool pulled over my eyes. It's not my fault though, is it? Because I picked up this can in pure kind of... You put your trust in these people, don't you? You put trust in absolute trust in that you're buying an India Pale Lager. Okay, it's 4% ABV. It was never going to be the best. It was never going to be the best India Pale Lager at 4% ABV. It's carling strength. But that's not my issue. I seen that with my eyes and I still decided to buy it at 4% ABV. That is not the issue. The issue is the damn ingredients. I do like going to Aldi. I like buying their food. But their beer, some of their beers are just absolutely shocking. Shocking. Now, it's just base lager, okay. Base lager's okay. Grapefruit infused, why don't they just call it a grapefruit infused lager? Why have they called it an India Pale Lager? Where, you know, IPA, hops, you know, you're meant to hop it with actual hops, not grapefruit flavour, grapefruit juice. This is just really, it's very rare that I lose my temper now with a beer review. This is one of those occasions. It's Friday. It's not even like it's Monday. Like it's Monday and it's gloomy. It's Friday. I should be happy. It's Friday. I should be like, hey, it's Friday. But no, I'm standing here today thinking I'm going to have to go and sit down with a cup of tea now and just kind of change my mood, like, you know? Disgraceful. Disgraceful. I mean, if you like... Some people drink this and they go, why is he shouting? Why is he bawling? Why is he kind of good? Why is he, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad beer. If Aldi told me on the can that it was a grapefruit infused lager, fine. I would have still bought it, absolutely fine. And I would have gone into the review knowing that it was a grapefruit infused lager. And I would have rated it as a grapefruit infused lager. But they haven't done that. They haven't done that at all. They've called it a style, which it isn't. It's not an India Pale Lager because it's grapefruit infused instead of a decent amount of hops. Really annoyed. Really annoyed. Very rarely now do I lose my blooming temper. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. I got another one now. I got another one to do. But this one does tell me there's peach in the beer. Oh, God. This one tells me it's been infused with peach. So I'm going to go away now, sit down, have 5 minutes, come back in a different mindset, in a different review, and review Harper's by Aldi, their summer ale with peach. 3.4% ABV. Right. My apologies if you don't like to see me rant. I just want to give my honest opinion in life, you know. Thanks for watching. Boom. Cheers.